Hey, what's up, everybody? Give me a second. This is what happens when I don't fucking do this for a couple weeks, and then like everything gets stupid. All right, of course that didn't work. Give me a second, folks. I got. I have to log in to this stream from a second computer so I can see the chats while I work because of the way this camera. In order for Restream, I use Restream, right? So in
Mm-hmm.
order for Restream to see a drawing camera, because I have a physical camera hooked up for my face when I do like the normal podcast, in order for it to
Right.
see the drawing camera, I have to actually stream the drawing camera from OBS and then share the OBS screen to Restream. So I have a whole screen being taken up by just I have a giant screen of this art right in front of me. It's something I've had to like not stare at. It gets annoying.
Right.
But in order to see all the chats while I'm working, I have a second monitor up. I have to log in. I didn't want to log in, so like I'm over here just using the link. Okay, so I have to know. Seriously? Oh, I'm not doing that. Give me a second. I thought this was just going to be logging in like I normally do. You know,
You thought wrong, sir.
it's like Brandon logged in and then like he couldn't even like hear me. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
this whole damn night. This is why like hey folks are like, man, why stream more often? I'm like, because it fucking never works. Like,
Yeah,
like I sit
exactly.
down to work, I would really to just work. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yeah.
I mean, fumbling around with this nonsense for God knows how long.
You're not just an artist, you gotta be an entertainer now.
Yeah, I'm entertained.
You're not you're not creating art, you're creating content.
Now I got that put in. Okay. Yeah, I'm creating content. Sure.
Yeah.
Everyone really cares. All right, so we got to work on this apocalypse. So let me kind of walk you through some test prints I did. I did the inks digitally. I print them out. So these are going to go on craft paper. This is Nina, Neehah, Nina Desert Storm cover stock, 100 pound, super thick cover stock. So I just did some tests here, doing some coat picks, some color pencils, kind of figure out what I want to do, how I want to do it. That's it. And so now I have the big boy, the big boy. Let me move this out of my way while I work. Scale that up just a little bit. So I gotta ink this sucker. All right. Uh,
When I started talking a minute ago, I didn't realize we were not live. And then you're like, we're gonna go
yeah.
live. And I was like, oh,
Well, I thought I'd be streaming by the time you log in, but I'm over here fumbling with this nonsense. What I gotta do now is ink this sucker. Should have Brandon fly out to Idaho and breathe into my fucking ear while he's recording me, drawing really close. So I got all these reels. Or
Hell
that's my
yeah.
job, really close.
Gotta get up
Gotta
in
hold it.
there.
I have to like draw with a GoPro now, dude, because fucking assholes are like, we want to see what it looks like. I don't even get to see the art that close. Those videos drive me nuts, dude. Because I'm like, dude, you can't even. You're not even looking at the paper that close. You can't. Your eyes will just like my eyes shut off when I get. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so, like I'm like, I get it's like fun content, but like I don't know, man. Like this is so disingenuous. I just
Yeah.
feel like it builds a level of expectation that like younger artists can't live up to. You know, I like to see art being made the way in which I would, if I had to make it, I would be making it. You know, I
Right.
don't like trickery, and I mean, speed videos are tough enough, dude. You know,
Yes.
it's like I just feel like people are like, I gotta draw that fast.
Well, it's like I started the watercolor and I'm like, okay, what's a good start transition? Putting the tape on, putting. I was like, fuck, man, I just want to paint this. And then I get in my head, and then, I don't put the tape down right, and it bleeds through at the top. So now I'm redrawing it because I'm just so. It's hard
You
enough.
want a
Just,
crisp edge.
yeah, I want a crisp. I do. I want, for those that didn't hear, I didn't put the tape down good enough, and the edge kind of bled, and it's not bad. It's really not bad, but the fact that I wanted a crisp edge where the characters popped out of the crisp edge. So now I got to go back and redraw this and repaint because that's what I want. And, this thing's already taken me way too long, and person's getting way more bang for their buck. But if I'm going to do it and I'm going to put it out there and it's going to be on the internet and people are going to see it and determines my possible more sales, then you know what I got to do? I got to make it look as good as possible. So, but being an artist is easy. Being a good artist is hard. Or he's a decent artist.
I think the word you're looking for is an artist who cares.
Yes, there you go.
I
That's
always tell people, look, the problem is you care. Like I care. If I didn't care, I get a lot more work done.
exactly
Not trying to do good work. I'm
100%.
just trying to get more of it, like more of my not caring work done.
Yes. Yeah, I literally could just keep painting this and go, fine. But nope. And then I got to redraw it. And if I don't like the way it's redrawn, then I might go back to the first one and be like, well, the border's fine enough. Yeah, I'm not just tracing some Lionel U art. So,
Was that a thing? People trace Lionel Yu's art?
from that comic event I did at the
No one knows
comic
what you're
books.
talking about.
Well, you know. Well,
No, because I barely remember what you're talking about, so I don't know.
I went to a comic book store event. I don't know how to word that to sound right because whatever. Anyways, there's an event at a comic book store, and everyone's there's art was just looked like something traced. And I literally walked over to this person. I don't know if it's the female stuff or the guy's stuff, but it was literally just a trace over of that Wolverine cover from Lionel U, where Wolverine has the bent claws, and it's a real close face close up shot, and it's like Wolverine. I can't think of what time I heard 125, or I knew right away. I go, oh, that's Wolverine 125, and I didn't say it to her or him, but I walked away and I told my buddy John, and he's like, really? I'm like, yeah, and he's like, first off, how do you know that? I'm like, I don't know, man. I store useless shit in my brain. Second, you remember shit like that. When it's an artist you follow, know when there's art being swiped. So sure as shit, I just pulled it up, and there it is. She's selling multiple paintings of that piece, pawning it off as
My
his
audio's
own.
really muffled. I don't know, man. Like it's not right in my face, Kyle. So don't know what to say.
I like
I
to
gotta
eat.
draw
I
the
like to
fucking
eat.
microphone in my fucking face, you
I
know?
like to eat my microphone, so you could probably hear me real clearly. I like to get all up in it. Nom 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 nom. So yeah, the person was clearly tracing Lionel Yu's art and other art. There was like a I don't know, Todd McFarlane type Venom, or it was just clear as day. And I saw that the comic book store was selling one of the paintings, and I don't even think they realized it was a Lionel Yu knockoff, or if they did, they don't care. But either way, I'm just like, man, like yeah, I could sit there and make fucking 10 paintings a day if I was just copying everybody else's shit. And then same with this. I could have been probably pretty far into this painting if I just didn't care.
Hey man, I can't even get the damn internet fucking shit to work right. Like things work right for years and then you turn it on, you're like, hey, nothing works. Like that's great.
I don't know. I didn't hear you, Rob. You were pretty muffled on that one. Can you say it again? I'm just kidding. What size paper is this?
This is 12 by 18. The commission's only 11 by 14, but I'm giving them fucking space. So,
That's a
like,
that's
whatever.
a that's a big boy.
So I'll trim it down as I go. Like, really dealing with it.
Saw Wakanda Forever last night. That was definitely a downer, but I knew that going into it. But
They I only have one gripe about Marvel movies. Yeah,
do tell.
right now. It's they got rid of like, or they didn't get rid of. It's just dudes left and got other jobs because they got famous. But they're like stunt coordinators
Uh huh.
for all their fights. All their fights. So Shang-Chi had like the only one with decent fights. Everything else has been milk toast. All the fights, and like it feels like storyboard animators like coming up with fights.
Uh
Doesn't
huh.
feel like people on set like getting real creative with physical, tangible shit, you know, and like knowing how cameras work and how actors actually move.
Right.
So,
Well, there was
their
like
fights suck.
there was like one scene. Uh, spoiler alert. But nobody wants to hear this. Cover your ears. The movie's been out for like 2-3 weeks. Where the Black Panther kicks Namor over. He's on his stomach, and it's clearly CGI'd, right? Like clearly the way she moved, the way it did. And I'm like, you couldn't have just shot just a quick 10-second of her kicking him over. Like you had to CGI that, and I'm like that carries like you're saying with the fights where it just looks like they're not really fighting. I'm like if they're just being like, hey, we're just gonna CGI this part where she kicks him over. I'm like most of the fights are CGI too. You know, there's not. It doesn't look like it has weight to it sometimes, where it just looks so
Told you, it feels
rubbery.
like it's because fucking animators are. They just put it up to animators to deal with, and thinking no one will notice.
Yeah.
So.
Namor was dope though. I liked him. Dude did a good job. I mean, I don't know what they could do with him since they don't own the rights to Namor, but
Put them in other fucking movies.
yeah.
Same thing they've been doing with the Hulk.
Yep.
Nothing's new about this, man. Nothing's new about this. Let me
Right.
trim this bottom off. Get in my way. Oh, Kyle, does it sound any different? Because that's like right in my mouth. I don't know what to do.
It's definitely loud in my ear, like you're on megaphone. Gotta turn my volume down. Large fries! This is gonna be a all colored pencil, right?
Repeat that.
You're doing all colored pencil on this apocalypse, right? After you ink it.
No, it's Copic with color pencil.
Oh, Copic. Okay. Gotcha. You sound so offended that I didn't know that.
Well, I started the whole thing off by going over the other two pieces, and talking about
I,
how I was going to do it.
when we were live or before that?
Literally like 10 minutes ago, man.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you, remember?
Oh. Well, then I described a bunch of stuff no one can hear. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
I figure since I haven't gained one subscriber on YouTube in 3-4 years, then it doesn't really matter.
That's the spirit.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if people can hear me or not.
Or if you're quiet / muffled. Take that, Kyle. Rob don't care.
What can I do?
Be more relevant, Rob. Jeez.
It's up, Psycho.
Oh, you'll say yo to Rob, but not me? That's cool, Psycho. That's cool.
You used to go to your Twitch streams, Brandon.
He did. That was very nice. That's why the non-hello hurt. Hello, it's me. Redrawing this was a dumb idea. Having that printer you talked about would come in real handy right now. To just be able to reprint these rough lines and then watercolor over them, that'd be real nice instead of having to lightboard this thing again. You didn't want to make it look like the movie version of Apocalypse?
I tried to never look directly at him, so I couldn't even tell you what he looked like.
Right.
It was like when I have to look at Ugly Sonic in that Chip and Dale's movie.
Whoever had that idea, that was great to do that. What size micron is that?
0.03.
Do you have a preferred size that you like to work in, or is it just varies based on what you're doing?
I jump between 0.0. Sometimes the 0.03, 0.05 doesn't matter. Depends on the way the nib is working or the paper.
Uh,
So I just keep both just in case. And then I'll jump between that and this. To be honest, this Sharpie pen, which is archival and waterproof.
oh, nice.
So the ink quality is about the same, and the nibs are pretty tough. So that would be like your 1.0
Uh-huh.
Copic, basically, you know. But I can get a whole box of them for like, the cost of like one fucking
Right.
Copic. So these days I use that, and then when I want something a bit thicker, I'll use a Zebra. Zebra thing. Anything beyond that, I don't know, man. Sometimes I use the Copic marker, or I just use color pencil.
Right.
Gee, where are all those people that when I'm drawing digitally go, oh, you ever draw with traditional shit? You're like, yeah. Where are you? Like all fucking
Yeah.
day. And the second I'm like, yeah, I'm inking, they're like, not here.
They're the same ones that say they're not going to see Avatar.
Now all the videos are popping up. Why Avatar is actually really great. Oh shit! Now you're telling. You know,
Yeah.
if the buzz on the movie was bad, if Guillermo del Toro had come out and meant this is dog shit, everyone would be shitting on it. But now it's gonna be a fucking Avatar come lately.
Yeah.
Cameron come lately. It's like whatever, dude. on the podcast. Anytime we have a guest, they have to bring their 3D Blu-ray to go. Look, Rob, see, I'm actually a real fan. I'm like, where were you a year ago? Like, the only guy who's been like fronting this film for 10 years. You know?
Yeah, I've heard about it for so long. It's like when your wife kept hearing about the director of Mad Max doing a Justice League movie, right? Uh,
Yeah,
George Miller.
George Miller.
Yeah.
I told her back in 2005 when we like remember when we first met.
I really wish I never started caring about the art I make. If I could just go back to being ignorant. Ugh. All right. Did you have a favorite part in Black Panther, or a part that really like you were just like, wow, this is super dope. I love it.
Really? I really liked in the first movie the whole sequence when they're at the club and it's like James Bond.
Uh huh.
The only time they got close there was when they were on the chase on the bridge and like she takes that spear and shoves it through the car.
She needs her own movie or series or something.
Well, I just prefer this film when it has a bit of this James Bond real world stuff, you know,
Yeah.
like I just think you need a balance, you know, and everything's so fucking like cosmic-y that it's just like I don't know, you know, like
Yeah.
you know, the turtles always had, you know, the Jack Kirby in space mixed with then the New York streets, and we're not getting any of the New York street stuff right now, you know,
Right.
to make an analogy. So it's like so that car bit, you know, the fight on the bridge is about the part I like probably the most, but
Yeah. Ugh. I definitely like the part when young Namor came up to the land and he sees all this shit going on in the world and he's like, yeah, fuck this. Kills them all. And he's like, I'm going back to the water. He's like, I've seen enough of humanity. I'm good. He's just like back into
there's a
this.
Tarantino version of that where we see him really fuck people up, right?
Yeah. So that was probably my favorite part. He just like came up to the surface, saw how shitty we are, and he's just like, "Yeah, I'll go back under the sea." Okay.
Hey, what's up, Alice?
Hey, Allison. Okay. Did you say this person bought a couple commissions, or this is just the only one from them?
No, man, he's the one who bought the chunky vein,
Oh, nice.
and you got this and the strife.
Oh, yeah, the strife. Forgot about that one. Is the strife going to be the same size, 11 by 14?
Same size, yeah.
When you decided to draw this apocalypse, were you gearing towards more of the animated show or the like X Factor appearance type shit?
I just plopped open a toy from the '90s and looked at it.
Nice.
I didn't really, I kind of preferred. I don't prefer the costumes to be any more detailed than the '90s.
Right.
Everyone complained about pouches and shit. I'm like, pouches were you didn't have to draw them perfectly. Now they're like, here's all these fucking seams and like here's H's like built into their boots and shit. You're like, what are you doing? Like they try to draw the movie costumes now.
Yeah.
Where they got all those fucking seams and stitches and shit. And you're like, I figure whatever worked good for a '90s Capcom fighting game works good for me.
Right.
I don't want the X-Men by way of Overwatch design.
Not a big fan of Overwatch, Rob?
It's fine, but they're like, that's a fucking model, you know? Like people are like, oh no, you draw every fucking thing. I know what you're saying, but like, I'm just, it's not my point. My point is just like, people try to do that shit to every fucking costume now. Like,
Right.
you know, it's just like, it's
Over
ridiculous.
design.
Over design. Overwatch over design. Over design. I prefer to play with the shapes. That's where I put my effort into.
Right. Rob's all about the shapes. Oh man, I really love redrawing this fucking 11 by 15 drawing.
I don't hear nothing, man. When I was working on this page for a comic thing earlier this year, I drawn the whole page, and that's when my fucking CPU, my GPU fan, whatever, my fan died, and it fucking corrupted the file. I had to redraw the whole page. So that convention, you know what I'm talking about, dude? Like,
Yep, 100%.
so like, I don't want to hear shit. Like, the shit was not fun to redraw, bro. I just gotta say.
Well, maybe I want to complain. Yeah, yours definitely that sucks.
And normally everything's backed up, but like that had just finished. It just wasn't back. You know what I mean? Like I had
Yeah.
corrupted and there wasn't a back. So I was like, oh, you fucking. It's like no matter what you do, there's always some chance. You know,
Right.
you try, but it just because the files back up at night, not like immediately as they're done. You know,
Yeah.
so
Am
I
I
just
done? Am I done?
threw a temper tantrum, raged around the fucking house, scared my puppy, calmed my puppy down. You know, and then just fucking just crumble fucked my way through doing it perfectly. Like you
Yeah.
never knew the difference. Can't look or you know you
All
gotta.
right. Oh man. Oh, man. Okay. Excuse me. So what you're saying is I'll get no sympathy from you.
No, you could stand and draw your drawings 3 times before they're done.
I know, right?
You gotta work on line quality and
Yeah, pretty much. Just because I know it, don't mean you gotta say it to everybody on the stream, Rob. Or just because it's true is what I meant. Nah, it's fine. I was like, As much as it sucks, it's whatever. Now, if I do it a second time with the border and I fuck up, then I'm leaving it because at that point I might just flip the table.
Gotta make sure your artist tape has a good seal, bro.
I thought I did, but got careless. Yes. There. It's redrawn. As far as I could tell.
Off a little bit.
They will paint you tomorrow. You're not getting painted tonight. Allison says your shape design is great, Rob, and that it sucks. And I assume she's talking about you having to redraw the whole thing and not my woes.
No one cares about you, Brandon.
My wife does.
It's questionable.
Yeah. My dog does. My dog does
There
for
you go.
sure. My dog is. I'm her world. She is definitely a daddy's girl. So that's fine. I love my puppers. Speaking of, never mind. I shouldn't bash it. I'm gonna work on coloring something for Mr. Bond. No, I'm gonna work on my own stuff. His stuff can wait. Allison said both things suck. Yay! Thanks, Allison.
So I'm probably gonna be doing like once a week streams on Saturdays where we just draw over silhouette poses. I'm gonna call it Saturday morning sketchcraft.
Woot woot.
So I thought Saturday is cool, but then it feels like I'm teaching. I don't really want to. I don't want to commit to that promise. You know, I'll say that one if I ever want to do actual lessons.
What are you calling it again?
Saturday morning sketchcraft.
Saturday morning sketchcraft.
Saturday morning sketches. You know, Saturday morning sketches. Yeah. See? So we can just focus on sketching and not,
works
not
for
be
me.
Stuck with the whole having to learn fucking people shit. You know. Be like, when you gonna teach us how to do all the things you do? And it's like never.
Teach us your ways.
Yeah. I prefer to like put people on a boat and then I kick it out to sea. Like, you know.
There we go. And then you throw a Molotov on it. You know, whatever.
Fire makes it better.
Right?
I'll have to do one of those with the stupid phone in my face so I can stream to fucking Instagram while I'm doing it.
There you go. Allison says she's learned a lot by just watching your library of videos.
I've learned that YouTube doesn't share those. They're like, it needs more of you with the face. You gotta make that stupid face on all the thumbnails, right? The woo! You know, put all the titles in caps.
Yep, just like that.
18 things you can do to be a surefire artist. All right. 1. Learn art. Oh shit. Oh shit. I thought I didn't need to learn art to be a better artist, but turns out learning art really makes a difference.
Yes. I have nothing to add to that. That is very accurate.
Get myself a nice bloom filter so I glow.
Hell yeah. How do you think I look so beautiful all the time?
3. Don't be poor. Turns out, statistically speaking, poor people can't make as much art because they gotta work for a living.
That's so true.
You can be poor, but it probably helps if you move to Asia where you you could do animation for pennies on the dollar.
Yes. It's like one of those memes where they show the Kardashians and it's like you're not ugly, you're just not rich like them. You know. You're
4.
not
Get a side hustle. I know you'd like to spend your time drawing, but thems don't pay the bills. Learn accounting, VHS repair. You know, like,
top 10 hacks to be a better
yeah,
artist.
yeah.
Yeah.
Get yourself a Tesla. Draw while it's auto driving. Try not to kill kids. You know, like this way you can be Uber and you can sketch. You see what I mean, dude? Like
Yeah.
it's hard for me with YouTube artists, man.
Yeah.
Like I just look at like I'm so fucking glad I never had to endure this shit when I was younger.
Yeah.
Like I learned it. I can ignore it now, but it's just like there's a lot of people out there who like this is their Stan Lee, this is their Jack Kirby,
Oh yeah.
this is their Todd McFarlane, this nitwit out here who lies to them daily about what they should be doing.
Is that the Sharpie pen?
The zebra. The zebra.
Zebra. Is it tip bendable or is it?
Yeah, it's bendable. It's flexible. You
Oh,
like
okay.
this?
Yeah, I
you
like
like
that.
this one.
That's the
Yeah.
let me look that up. It's a
Zebra with
zebra.
all the with a lot of Chinese on it.
Ink. Let's just
Yeah.
type in zebra ink pens.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, here we go. The blue. I see the blue one. Is that extra fine? Is that the extra fine one?
Sure. Right. I don't know.
It's the only. I know it's got all the
Yeah,
Chinese
yeah.
right on the
You
side.
fine as fuck, pan. You extra
It's
fine.
it's zebra
Look at that. Look at that
fude.
big black booty on my pan. It's so
There you
fun.
It's
Oh
all
yeah.
blue. Did it come in a 4-pack?
Huh? If you're lucky, you know. you know.
Because I'm looking at it right now. It says zebra fude sign brush pen.
There you go.
Check this out. You ready for this, Rob? You ready?
Yeah.
Konnichiwa, watashi wa Brandon des. That means hello. My name is Brandon.
Hello, I contracted COVID. Where can I go to the nearest hospital?
Yes.
Oh,
That's
well,
that's
you know,
that's some of the
being on a
Japanese I
plane
learned
for
this
18
week.
hours. Good. Mask up when you're on that plane, bro. What
If
can
we
I
even
say?
get to go.
It's that.
I'm
It's especially the runway when you're just sitting there. These specific N95 masks I got are for that ventilation and if I
right.
ever have to get on a fucking plane,
Right,
you know.
we got the same ones. I got
Okay.
the black N95s. The ones you said you had is the ones I got. I ordered
Yeah, those are the
I
ones.
ordered a 40 pack like
If you're stuck on
a
a
year or
fucking
two
plane,
ago.
that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah,
When I go to the movie theater, it's the one I wear because I just don't trust people. Yeah.
yeah. I don't. We have our plane tickets booked. That's as far as we've been able to afford. So I don't know right now. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Might have to push it back one more year. I don't know. I'd hate to do it, but them's the breaks.
Number 5, review products you never use. You know, you can review a
Yes.
lot of products and sucker artists into buying shit you never use. But never use gets the views. Fucking. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Hey Rob,
Number
is it
6,
ridiculous?
copy photos of Marvel actors. No, anytime Marvel hires an artist, you know they want to make sure you can draw photorealistic versions of scenes from Deadpool 2. You know, like that, like they know that. Everyone knows that. You're gonna have to draw photorealistic versions of Batman v Superman. That's what people. That's what pays the. Oh man. Oh.
Yeah, it's a zebra fude brush pen extra fine. It's blue with gold writing on it, correct?
You so fine, you blow my mind. Hey, foodie, do. Hey, yes, it's got the
Yeah.
gold.
Yes. There's extra fine. Yeah, that's the one.
But like when
Extra
I'm inking
fine.
digitally, like I always switch to a thicker brush as I move down the body anyway. Like I get all the details kind of go up here, you
Uh-huh.
know, and like in the hands, like hands, face. And then as we get to the mid arms and to the legs, it's just always a thicker pen anyway. So like I try to keep that process. Uh,
And the Copics go over that perfectly. There's no smear, nothing. The
None.
one- the one you're
Bro,
using
I've
right
been
now.
using this for years.
Huh. Buying it now. Says there's
Yeah,
only
let it
eight.
dry for a minute. You know what I
So
mean?
yeah.
Like,
Says
don't put
there's
it down and be like,
only
marker! You know? Like, come on, buddy, you can smear. Like, go, it's smeared. Not worth it.
8 left in stock. Should I buy
In the
2?
whole world, in the whole wide world,
It says it's
I'd
only
always buy a set.
sounds
Always buy at
$4.
least two. Always buy at least two. So when you're down one, you can order the next
Right.
one.
Says it's $4. That sound about right?
I guess.
You're a lot of help. Thanks, buddy. Really glad I'm
Look,
going
my
to.
wife really wish I kept track of what I spent on supplies, but I just buy what I have to from the coffers, you know. So I can't remember. I always say like I'm buying $50 worth of pens, and I just click on them until it hits that number. So between $3 and $4 is about right, you know.
Right.
I know you laugh, but that's how I buy supplies. I buy them in increments of like of money, you know. I don't know, so much numbers.
You spend money.
Yeah.
What would that cost? Money.
Yeah. Number 7, get an OnlyFans. You know you could draw while you're naked.
Isn't that what you're doing right now?
Huh?
Isn't that what you're doing right now?
Number 8, never take your own advice.
Yeah.
Just constantly give other people advice. Don't use your own advice. Your advice doesn't work for everyone, but it just needs to get people to click on this fucking link.
Yes.
See, Brandon, doing a daily Star Wars show for a year is really, it's really up my don't give a shit humor. You know, I've gotten pretty good at it, I think. These
See.
Star Wars freaks, you know what I mean? They come at you all day long. They're like, you can't pick fights with your audience. I'm like, the fuck I can't. That's literally how Jerry Springer made a living. You
Right.
know, pick a fight with my audience. Of course I'm. First off, no one's tuning into this show for me. They're tuning in for Star Wars show. I'm just getting in the way.
Right.
So, you know. You ever see like those art videos where like it's zoomed in, you're like, oh, this looks really good. And then when they get done, it looks dumb as shit.
Uh
And you're like, what happened? What happened? How did it get it looks like it was going so well. What
Yeah.
you know? Yeah. I'm like, that's what people who've never had to work with an art director end up doing, you know? It's like you have to you can't do that. You can't get halfway through it and have the art director go like, look better when it was a sketch. You're like, shit, dude. You
Yeah.
know? You wasted how many hours on this? I've been there. I've learned. I've learned. Number 9, get political. Not to say you should care about politics, but just throw some shit out there so you can start a shitstorm. Harass people. It's always good for art. And then also tell people not to harass people
Yes.
when they come back at you.
I mean, it sounds like you got it pretty much figured out. I don't know why you're wasting your time with us right now.
I got nowhere else to go, Brandon.
Sadly, neither do I.
Let everyone know how Marvel comics and movies used to be better. Phase 4 is the worst phase of them all. Never mind, 5 out of 7 movies in Phase 2 were also fucking horrible. People forget. I like Winter Soldier. Yeah, I like Guardians of the Galaxy. Do you remember the 5 other fucking films that came out in that phase you all hated? Iron Man 3, Thor 2, Age of Ultron. Night.
Take it easy. Okay.
Number 10. Get everyone really scared of AI art. Everyone knows companies like to replace people with algorithms. Your job is next. Give up now. That'll teach them. But Rob, it's true. They're gonna replace. They won't. They won't. Oh, someone will try, and then it will go horribly wrong. The minute they need to make fucking changes.
Yeah.
But one day, one day, one day, one day.
But they're taking all the hard jobs. Okay.
Like people are endlessly just drawing over 3D models and backgrounds and tracing over everything, and I'm like, yeah, I've been dealing with this automation shit for a while. Well, now it can be done in seconds. What's the difference? I'm not competing with those fuck. Don't compete with those fuckers.
Yeah.
My solution to this is I just tell people I go real slow. I had some friends who looked at some of my art recently. They go, "Hey man, how long did it take you?" I'm like, "I don't know. I don't count anymore.
Yeah.
I don't care. You know, I just do one thing at a time. And this is a move at Rob time.
Yeah.
You know, it took one Rob hour. I don't know how long that is in real hour, another hour,
One
but
Rob
one
hour.
Rob hour. It took one Rob. Yeah, it took one Rob hour.
I like
You
that.
know, people can make up their own coin. I can make up my own essence of time or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, time perception.
Yeah.
Why not?
I see no. I don't see nothing wrong with that.
Number 12. Be a contrarian. Someone draws traditional, ask them if they do digital. If they're drawing digital, ask them if they draw traditional. If they do both, ask them are they worried about AI?
Yes. That's
If they aren't, ask them what brushes do they use and why they don't use them in the program you prefer.
yes. Why aren't you? Yeah. Why aren't you using the program I like?
Yeah. I heard the one I like is supposed to be better. Why aren't you using it?
So, have you put any thought into this, Rob?
Number 13, add the word studios behind anything you do. Even if it's one person, it's still a studios. You know? Hey, what's up? Evening long. Everyone knows studios makes it sound real professional.
Yes.
Even if you're homeless, living out your car because you can't afford rent in this post apocalyptic renter's hell, you still somehow manage to run a studios. By the
Yes.
way, I do this while I'm sitting here alone.
All
Like
right.
this is the shit I still, just sit here. This fucking world, man. You know.
does that not look square down? That don't look right. Go ahead and keep going with those tips. I'm trying to get better over here real quick, like as fast as possible.
Tip 13. Get an R friend who constantly asks you questions to which you answer the same shit for 10 years and he never does anything.
Yeah, that's the stuff. That's what I'm here for.
And then lets you know a professional told him the same shit you've been telling him for 10 years. But now it's real cuz someone else said it.
I don't do that. So that's not me.
Someone more famous than him. You
I
know?
don't
All right.
I don't have any friends more famous than you, so that's not
Yeah,
me.
what's that? Yeah.
There you go. Look at that, Rob. They're enjoying you drawing on paper instead of digital.
Yeah. I'd have to make 18 things. If I'd done 12, I would have been done by now. I need 4 more. Okay. Yeah. Brandon's being real complimentary to the 4 people who tuned into the show. They.
Whatever pronoun you use, we support it all. They, them, all, fans, non-fans, bots, all inclusive. Well, welcome, Dave Diaz. You got Rob Duenas, aka Sketchcraft, and me, Mega Potato, here to keep you super entertained. Yay!
Tip 15. Draw some tits.
That's tip
No,
number
no one
1.
cares about basic old people anymore, or dogs or anything. Just draw boobs.
There you go. I don't really draw much of those, so that's probably why
That's the problem, Brandon. You'd be much more famous if you just did more boobs, man.
that's what it is.
Then complain when social media won't post your pornographic content.
Right. Why do you censor all these titties I draw? Dave says, "Ha! I guess I'm too old to follow the trends. Big fan, brother. I feel forced to draw boobs. Go the opposite, Dave. Draw a
Yeah,
bunch of dicks."
yeah, but there you go. That was tip 16. Draw some dicks.
Yes.
Tip 17, add fur. Tip 18, put them all together. Dicks, boobs, and fur.
Yes.
And there you go. There's 18 tips to be a more famous artist on YouTube.
All one character.
Hmm.
All right.
I had to get through all 18 tips. Look, it's weird, but that's welcome to the fucking internet. Internet's weird.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's all about engagement, not talent. Engagement.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm. Long arm asks, this streaming elsewhere?
Yeah, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. So we're talking to people on Facebook right now, Long Arm. You're on the YouTube.
You
I guess I have to stop drawing booze since I'm getting. It's not. I didn't say. I told you to do it. What are you talking about, dude?
I mean, you could keep drawing boobs. Just make sure you do a good job at drawing them.
I think people should be able to do whatever they want. I don't really care. What kills me though is when like the problem, and this is nothing new, but the problem with anything is with anything visual is it will always devolve into just porn when left unchecked. So it's not that it's like I have any problem with it. It's just that it just ends up taking over everything. That's my,
Mm.
and so then you just end up with just everyone's just having a big fucking circle jerk on the internet all fucking day. It's like I don't, it's ridiculous, man. Like it's like every time Instagram wants to suggest to me a reels, it's some chick with enormous boobs. I'm like, what? Like, why? Why does it assume that's what I want to see? Like, I don't know, but that's it. It's like, all right, well, I'm not against it, but like I didn't really. I mean, it's not hard to get a hold of porn these days. Like it's harder to get away from it. You know.
True.
So just left unchecked, it will always devolve into just debauchery every fucking time, dude.
Mm.
And it's really what we're talking about is like in pro wrestling they call it hot shotting, where you like do these like gimmick matches to get people to come in the door, but eventually it folds in on itself, and you can only do so much of those weird gimmick matches before no one gives a shit. Which is sort of what happened to pro wrestling in general, just all turned into like weird, stupid gimmick matches. So even though it was always everyone kind of always knew it was fake, there's no like real storyline to follow anymore because it's all just based around stupid gimmicks. Same with art.
Yeah. Mm.
So that's why I'm like, that's why you need a section. The fucking crazy fucking debauchery section's over there, you know? But we can't let it run free because then everything will become that. But it's a real like nuanced take to have because it involves people using like common sense, which, as you know, Brandon, it's not so common.
Nope.
Uh, I'm not spending my time on gimmicks to get people, and you want long term fans. They gotta like you gotta be known for something. And everyone wants like the easy answer. No, what's the easy answer? There is no easy answer. You could be known for quality shit. If you're drawing nudes one day, fine. If you're doing this one day, why? But that's not the answer people want to take because that requires time and like consistency.
Right.
And we don't want time and consistency. We want immediate gratification. Are they getting? No, they don't. So what happens is they stop coming back after a while. Like you would think, where they go, well, they'll be bored when you show them something normal. Well, it's not doing the thing anymore, and then when you keep doing the crazy thing, they go, I've already seen this. Oh, it's boring. This is like why you can't just Marvel just can't keep doing movies where they put 700 fucking characters on screen. You can't do every movie like the Infinity War or Endgame because like that will run through very quickly.
Yeah.
You know, which is why I said they need to be focusing on kick-ass fight sequences. Like their movies have to have fighting. That's part of the superhero genre, man. You know, doesn't have to be a lot, but it needs to be so awesome that you're like fucking can't wait till that scene comes up. And, oh my god, you know, like that's the thing.
Yeah.
So you want to hear a better like new like a more straightforward conversation on hot shotting, just listen to Jim Cornette talk about it sometime. He'll tell you. Yeah, no problem. Yep. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, I really want to buy that inking pen. I think I'm going to get it tomorrow. I think it's going to have to happen.
Yeah, you'll like it. Look at yeah, look, there's times and places to do some stuff, you know? So you got to know, like, where you're doing it, where to place. It's balance. All things balance, you know? Like, good time to hot shots, like at a WrestleMania, big paid event, right? It's a reason to buy a ticket, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You don't go, well, no, this is the WrestleMania where we don't do anything because we're keeping it real. Like, what are you doing? The 80-20 rule. But that's not how most people react. Most people go, oh, well, videos on Instagram are big now, so I'm just going to have this filter kind of flip my art around and go blah, 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 blah all the fucking time. That's going to really, yeah, that's going to do a whole lot for folks.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly how I did mine. Poop-a-dow-doop-a-dow-doo.
Ah, it all looks like a Saul Goodman video, you know?
I tried my best.
Like there was something I was talking to Allison about a while ago that finally, like Dave Finch finally mentioned. So I guess, you know, I was like, oh, now I guess it means I know what I was talking about. But you know, there's this thing that like artists do where you know if you do too much work, you know, like if you do too much work too fast, you end up parodying yourself.
Right. David
So
Finch said
I
this?
heard, yeah, yeah.
I mean,
So I was like, hey, look, he said that. I'm like, yeah, no, no shit. I've been saying this for a long time. So what happens is you end up like, let's say like I draw a hand a certain way, but then like I'm drawing a lot, so then that hand gets weirder and weirder and weirder, and then like a year or two later, you're like, why is that artist draw fucking weird now?
Yeah, we've talked about this plenty of times. I mean, maybe not on the stream, but we've talked about certain
Yeah, I'm not getting
artists.
into a
No,
fucking
not at all.
like
No,
flight
not
of
at
beat.
all.
It's a warning for artists. It's not like a condescending thing. It's like you
Yeah,
got to be very careful. You know.
yeah, yeah. But they're cranking out.
I mean, I'll talk about an artist I felt that did it to themselves once, and it was Humberto Ramos around the time he did Out There.
Oh yeah, I got
Out There
super
compared to the
angular and flat.
go look at the first the first 12 issues of Crimson compared to the last, right? And then you get to
Right.
Out There, and you're like, he had to pull back.
Oh yeah.
Like you got to pull back sometimes. So like I don't mind drawing small heads. I mean, like you got. I mean, that isn't the thing. Like Stephen Platt draws. I tend to draw smaller heads when I sketch. Like makes the bodies look bigger. But you just got to be careful. You're not just on such a fucking autopilot that some artists can. They can be on a perfect autopilot and draw whatever they want. But those regular fucking folk have to work at it. And so sometimes it's not even because you're taking on too much work. Sometimes it's just you're either not pushing yourself or you don't have to get challenged by your audience. So like some people hit a point in their careers or their popularity where they're just everyone tells them, "Oh, everything you do is so great," and that's just not true. Like it's a very disingenuous thing. So I mean, you always change. If you're growing, you're always changing somewhat. Like there's no way you can get around that.
Hmm.
You just want to make certain that you're not just pushing and pushing things further and further for the sake of like doing a shitload of stuff. So like it's a harder thing to balance. Now you can't allow your personal preference, Dave, to like also you got there's a I can tell you I can't you're probably right, but at the same time, like again, like the whole like six heads tall thing doesn't mean shit when you're designing like action figure characters. You
Right.
know, like it. That's an incorrect statement. You need heads high tall when you're drawing GI Joes so they all fit in the fucking toys properly. You know, the vehicles. Uh, yeah, I too was never taught how to draw, but I did go to Comic Con in the early '90s, '92. I started going to cons, and so what I would do is rather than take a portfolio because I was a kid, like what am I going to take a portfolio for? I would sit and watch the portfolio reviews, so I get to see 20, 30 portfolio reviews. You know, and I'd have people like Neil Adams look at me and go, "Don't ever do this." Like that literally happened to a dude, poor guy. But, and so like I would see, like through the volume of stuff back when at that time those conventions were about meeting actual artists, not like I wonder what celebrities showing up to, like it
Right.
wasn't about that. So at the art, so it was just a more uh, if you were paying attention, you can learn a lot. You know. Yeah. And then, I've worked in actual physical art departments, and you just see artists come in and out, and you get a really good sense of like where people struggle. There have been guys that have been there for like a long time and they're on autopilot, and then they're like, well, you don't know how to get better. And it's like, you have to like, you can't get better at work. You have to get better on your own time. Work is where you bring the skill set. You develop. Well, when I go home, I'm just too tired. I'm like, yeah, you're gonna have to like do some push-ups or something, man. I don't know what to fucking tell you, dude. Like, you know, yeah, artist alley. Yeah, back when artist alley wasn't just like 20-foot tall fucking signs with a million prints, when it was actually an artist who just sat there with their portfolio and drew. They used to have rules about artist alley. You weren't allowed to turn it into like this giant fucking retail center. Like, you could sell some stuff, but you couldn't have. Everyone had to have like, they had rules on how high your sign could be, like 6 feet.
Right.
That all goes away around the mid 2000s, and now you're just like, fuck, dude. Artist alley is print alley. You know what I mean? Like, here's where you go to get a print, and if you don't have 700 fucking prints, then you ain't doing shit.
Yeah.
That's why I stopped going.
Correction, sir. That's why we stopped going.
You just went to a comic shop thing. What's the difference?
That's a big difference.
I don't think it's a big difference.
Uh, in-store free comic book day compared to a Comic-Con is
What
a
were they
huge
selling?
difference.
Prints.
Oh, those guys were, yeah, because they treated it, those fuckers treated it like a Comic-Con, and that was why I said I'm not going to do another one. That was so fucking stupid. That was supposed to be just like, we come in there, you could do some original art and do something for the store. And if you, I mean, I guess you could sell prints if you wanted some of your stuff and books, but these guys set up like their fucking, like they did booths, like they put up their
Yeah.
fucking banners and shit. And I was so pissed that I just said, oh, I'll sit in the fucking back. And they're like, oh, you want to sit over here? I was like, I don't want to sit by, I said it as clear as day. I said, I don't want to sit by any of you. And I literally was at my own table in the back corner of the fucking room, basically on the other end by the wall of comics. I was like, I told them straight. I looked right at them and I said, I looked at their banners. I looked up and down and I said, no, I'll sit back here. And they're like, you sure you don't put your table up here? I'm like, no, I'm good outside of the Comic Con here. I'm good. And then after I said that, then I even walked around and looked at their shit. And that's where I told you I saw the fucking tracers copying Lionel Hughes art. And I was just like, yeah, I'm going to leave early. I was like, I'm gonna just dip out, guys. Did those quick little watercolors, and then I was out. And then they have some event going on this past Saturday or coming up, and they're like, you want to come? And I was like, no, I'm good, thanks. I was like, I'm gonna sit this one out, guys. I'm one and done. I always say, one and
So this
done.
started around the mid 2000s, somewhere between 2005 and 10. I can't remember what year specifically, but it was a slow. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. You want to be a fucking retail booth, you get retail space. If they don't have retail space, then you're an artist alley. Then I feel there should be no more than a 6 foot sign in your name. And you can't have a sign that faces the opposite direction so you peek your shit into someone else's fucking. It's about meeting artists. It's not about artists feeling burdened that they have to lug around 1,000 fucking prints of every character they've ever fucking that ever exists, so someone can come into artist alley and get a fucking souvenir. You know,
Yeah.
and it's turned into like they're just, oh, so we got. It's just it's horrific. It's horrific. So I just go, well, you know what? They're never listening to me, so I will not go.
Yes.
Like, your convention's gonna be filled with 500 of those dudes and none of me's. Okay, you know.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Just selling my shit here, one at a time. Like, I'll see where I can trim. One and a half inches. 2 inches. Yeah, well, just not the business model, man. Like the conventions themselves, they overcharge for certain things. So it's like, well, they go, oh, a Comic Con? Well, that means we're gonna jack all the prices up. So it's just, it's a self-fulfilling nightmare scenario. I had hoped after COVID, because of, no one going to cons for a while, that they would have gone, oh, great, it would have equalized some of the prices, but did not happen.
No.
The first few cons that happened, everyone's like, we're doing great. And then all of a sudden, everything went back to like gouging everyone. And it's like, oh shit, came back down. I'm like, yeah, they're gouging everyone. Let them gouge the BMW boating fucking cons. You know what I mean? Like, stop gouging fucking like artists who sell shit on paper. Like, some scraps.
Yay.
Let's see. Where are we at? 90 minutes. All right, I'm gonna call it quits here. And then I'm gonna start doing the markers. I'll probably record this on my end. I don't know if I'll stream, but we've been doing 90 minutes. It's a good stream. It's a good stream, straight from my. Yeah,
Good
I make the
stuff.
shit up, man. I do. Silhouette blobbies. You know what I mean? I make it all up. Make it all up, Dave. Sketchcraft. You will see all the processes and the rants. Everybody, peace.
All right, bye-bye.